There's the Hollywood Burbank Airport Control Tower, now called the Bob Hope Airport. And I'm standing in Valhalla Memorial Park, right where the Portal of the Folded Wings is. It is July 18th, 2012. I'm Dale Black. I'm just going to video aim at this flight path that our Piper Navajo took 43 years ago today. And we were taking off, which would have brought us right up above the trees that are in the center of this camera right now. And we were moving right along the top of these trees. And then right about here, you can see possibly, it looks like two, but there's actually 3 pine trees right here. And we clipped the tops of these pine trees. It was determined back then to be at the 80-foot level. For some reason, the tops of the pine trees, I actually came back and saw them splintered and cut down by our wingtips. But they never grew back. The trees have continued growing, but the tops, for some reason, did not continue to go upward. I don't understand that. I just know that it's a fact. Here's the Portal of the Folded Wings. We crashed into the top of the dome. If you can see the top go about 5 feet below our one human body length, if you want, 6 feet below, something like that, and that's where we impacted. And then, of course, the official impact speed into the Portal of the Folded Wings 2 years later was determined to be 135 miles an hour. That's when we got the report from the NTSB. We, 3 pilots, free fell and hit the ground, of course, after the solid impact into that mausoleum. And this is where the aftermath was. I'm kind of going to walk toward what I think would be where I could point the camera in my recollection. I've been doing this for about 42 years, but Gene's body, the pilot in the left seat, was right here, still strapped into his seat. And Chuck's body was the same thing right here. And I was right there. However, this landscaped area is very different now than it was then. They've made it larger, bigger, prettier. There was a cement border around a rose garden, but it was not like it is today. Anyway, but this is where my body was. The cockpit was right here too. The nose of the airplane was right there. The wings were spread right here. And then the tail section, there's a lot of photographs showing about a third of the airplane remaining, and tail would be right there in that concrete on the blacktop. Now this area of the mausoleum has not changed. The mausoleum itself has not changed, other than they did repair the damage that our aircraft did to it. But this has been standing here since the 1920s. And inside of it are the memorialized, and in some cases remains, of some very famous pilots and aviators. I'll walk kind of fast around this building. The Space Shuttle Challenger is memorialized here with this monument, and in respect for the loss of that wonderful crew back in those days. Of course, that happened well after our airplane crash. It's called Portal of the Folded Wings again. It's a plaque says, "Welcome to the Shrine of Aviation, American Aviation rather. The plaques herein mark the final resting place of pioneers of flight." This is the only entrance into the mausoleum. If you just turn to the right, the first person that I have always remembered being memorialized here is Amelia Earhart with her flight engineer Fred Noonan. They disappeared on or about July the 2nd, 1937. There's quite a few others here. I don't know that I'll bore you with their names. Let's see the airplane taking off. I just now can hear it. It'll be right above here. Many of the airplanes go right above the monument. Some go maybe 30, 40 feet left or right, depending on the wind and the direction that the captain is flying or whoever's flying. William Mitchell, or Billy Mitchell, what is known by many, he is known as the father of the American Air Force. He's here. Quite a few new people have been placed in here. Charles Taylor, the assistant to the Wright brothers, interred here in 1956. I will have a plaque here someday. Anyway, there's also an aviation museum. It's right here. It's open when the weather is good on Sundays only between 1 and 3. So someday come by, you aviation enthusiast, and take a gander at what's inside. When this cemetery was built, the mausoleum was the roadway into this cemetery. There was the road, which is now closed, but that actually used to be a 2-lane road bringing people to and from this cemetery.